Audio check. Okay. Welcome to Neon Cobra. Let's kick into it. Very dense topic this week. We're going to talk about what you do when your Sharepoint is full. You're spending too much money, maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars on extra memory and gigs, storage capacity for Sharepoint. And the way organizations tend to get here is they treat it like a file server when it's meant to be treated as a collaboration tool. It's not so much a problem for small to medium businesses, maybe like 20 users, 25 users. But the second you start storing massive amounts of quantity and data, you start having soft failures in performance, and then eventually it starts costing you a lot of money. So the first question I usually get asked is, well, can I start putting this in Azure files? And unfortunately, there isn't a native way to extend in. You can use your syntax archiving to help offset some of the storage capacity into blob storage, but that's not always an option for people. So understanding about Azure files, right? In a nutshell, it's just a platform file server as a service, which means you still need to worry about role-based access control, which involves a domain controller of some form, whether it's Entra Domain Services or just a B-series virtual machine running your domain services. You need to worry about line of sight, how to get to it, right? If you're running it isolated in Azure, you can't access it like you can SharePoint. So you need VPNs or potentially one of the private internet site or private internet connection points that just came out, which is very, very interesting. I always like to recommend SMB over Quick where possible. This is a Windows Server 2022 feature. It allows you to do SSL encryption right into a file share. You key up your own certificates, and it no longer requires VPN to access it. A little bit more configuration, a little bit of underlying architecture requirement, but it just allows you to map drives like you're used to with your Windows file shares. Now, the biggest problem you're going to run into, though, is if they're used to the SharePoint usage, right? They want that file, they want that collaborations. And at that point, you may end up having to look at products like Ignite or some third-party line of business to create almost a collaboration tool you will drop into Azure. This is a very difficult topic because there's a lot of ways to kind of cut this one apart. But just understanding when you're planning and you're trying to future-proof an organization, ensure that you're not putting them into kind of a corner by putting them into SharePoint. Treat it like the collaboration tool it is. Archive into Azure files or even back on-premise, right, if you have to. But, secure, protect, and then plan for the future. Catch you next time.